Balance Yogis. I assume we're on. Um, Welcome to we're on Tuesday Night Yoga. It's good to see you all. I hope that everyone's aware that tonight is Yin instead of Yang practice. Um, we may go a little bit over an hour. I'm not sure. I will try to keep it to an hour, but as you know, with Yin, we hold these poses longer. So we will take a little bit more time. For any of you who are new to Yin practice, we're supposed to take one Yin class for every about 4 of Yang. So this is the 4th Tuesday since our last Yin class. We take a pose and we hold it for longer. So just take a few minutes to come onto your mat. Letting go. The thing about Yin is we will hold each pose tonight for 3 minutes. Yin only concerns the spine and the hips. So it is all done sitting, it's all held for long poses. Chat is on, let me know if you have any requests or anything you want answered. So let's start, and you have a choice. This pose is called Seiza, S-E-I-Z-A, Japanese sitting pose. We can start here. Tall spine, or if you wish, and you won't hold either side for 3 minutes, you can take a pose called crisscross. Remembering, if this bothers hips or knees, sit on a block. And just start on one side, left or right. And I will tell you after a minute and a half, and you would change sides if you're in crisscross. And take time to come onto your mat. So Yin is the black side of the circle that I posted on Facebook, but it has a white dot at the middle. And Yang, Y-A-N-G, most people say Yang, it's Yang, is the white side of that circle, but that also has a black in it because almost nothing in the world, on the mat, off the mat, is totally good or totally bad. So it is letting go of judgment, letting go of process, letting go of results, and feeling. So Yang practice is shallow and affects muscles. We take a pose, it's rhythmic. We hold that pose for 5 breaths. We link it with a chaturanga, or we just move into a separate pose. But with Yin, we sit in each pose and it moves past the muscular level of our bodies into the connective tissue. So the connective tissue are the tissues, the ligaments, which attach bone to bone, and the tendons. That's opposite. Ligaments are muscle to muscle, tendons are bone to bone. So it's deep. There is a way to describe almost everything in our lives in terms of Yin and Yang. Yang is light, Yang is surface, Yang is repetitive. So if you're in crisscross, crisscross the other way. Make sure you get both sides. If you're in Seiza, simply stay in your Seiza. Japanese sitting pose. So hips and spine in deep are the fundamental principles. It affects your torso and it affects your hips and your legs. The other effect that Yin has is on many of your organs: stomach, spleen, liver, kidney. It opens and reaches those places that Yang, because it's rhythmic and surface, do not reach. So we will start our practice today opening hips, and then we will switch over to spine. So this is a combined practice. A lot of yin practices will focus solely on legs or solely on spine, but I like to mix them up. It's more fun that way, yes? Take a breath in. Exhale gently, undo, and make your way to a very slow and very gentle downward facing dog. So take a minute here just to feel. So normally I would say inhale, right leg to the high, step it forward. So yes, step your right foot forward, but don't worry about lifting it. I think it's better if I demonstrate this way. So this pose is called dragon. This is upright dragon. And there are a ton of variations, just a little bit like yan. On dragon, you can inch this foot forward and come to low dragon. This is high dragon. This is low. We'll take a few more variations on the other side, but you can take low dragon, and I would certainly start here, or you can come down to your elbows for sleeping dragon, another variation. So, upright dragon, low dragon, sleeping dragon. Remembering that you're holding this pose for 3 minutes. Yin teachers will all tell you that your pose in yin will look different at the beginning than it does at the end. As you find release and as you find ease, you may find yourself able to come a little bit deeper. But the other concept with yin is that there is absolutely no muscular exertion to this practice. If you use your muscles to get into a pose, you'll stop yourself from coming deeper. So you can kind of play with this, find your edge. No muscle, no muscle, no muscle. Maybe now I'm activating muscles to get myself deeper. That's your edge. That's your magic edge at the beginning of the pose. Maybe you need to modify halfway through. Maybe you can come deeper. So don't think your poses. Feel them. Same principle in yan. There is no guidance for breath in yin. There's no ujjayi. There's definitely no uddiyana bandha. And there's no particular drishti. So as you settle into a pose, find the spot, the deepest place you can go without using your muscles to get further, and that's your yin edge. Nice. And breathe your way into it. Just even breath. Not ujjayi. No questions yet. That's cool. So we start on the right side in every pose. And then we go to left. Right hip is the son and the father. Left hip is the moon and the mother. The most full expression of your dragon poses are the splits. If you have the splits that are super comfortable and just let your body ease into it, go ahead and take the splits. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your right foot back again. Come to a very gentle downward facing dog. And step your left foot forward. Dragon on the other side. So maybe upright, maybe low, flying low, or sleeping. Maybe you start in one place, and maybe you end up in another. So one of my favorite cartoons was in the New Yorker. It was a frame, and at the bottom of the frame, it said comfort in a bubble, and at the top bubble, it said where you grow. So we come to yoga, whether it's yin or whether it's yang, to find change. And change does not come from comfortable times. Change comes from challenge. And maybe that edge that we talk about, whether it's yang, where we're powering our way through a pose with muscle, or yin, where we're just breathing into each one. So all tissues of the body must be stressed in order to change, and in order to stay healthy, most importantly. Not my favorite phrase, but use it or lose it. So in yang, we use our muscles. In yin, we go deeper. If we push too hard in either practice, we're risking an injury. If we don't find that edge that we're looking for, then we don't change. Then we haven't found a stress, that place where we grow. And feel if your pose has changed from when you first settled into it to now when you're ready to go deeper. So yin yoga only has about 24 to 36 poses, all of which focus on the area from your hips to your shoulders, spine, organs at the back of your back. And the point of yin is to use time to make these tissues stronger and healthier. Take a breath in, exhale to empty, and make your way back to very gentle downward facing dog. So again, feel. Look forward to the front of your mat and step your way back to dragon. But this time, a little different. Bring your left hand down to the mat. Keep your right hand on your right knee so you can slide your left leg back. Your body, your practice, your choice, but use your right hand to very gently guide your right shoulder open to the sky, left shoulder down towards the mat. This is twisting dragon. I think last time we spoke about the spine and how the spine has 6 different planes of movement. You can move forwards and backwards. You can rotate, twist, side to side. You can take a lateral bend over to the side. And during this yin practice, we move our spine in all 6. And our hips. Our hips have more than 360 degrees. Nice. So twisting dragon. as you move and as you feel, kind of nerd alert, there are two primary forces in architecture, most of you know I'm an architect. Tension, the force pulling things apart, and compression, the force pushing them together. So as you sit, especially in your twisting dragon, feel the tension, the lengthening in your left leg, compression here, and open. Again, if you feel yourself using your muscles, either to come deeper, we tend to be so ambitious in yoga. And yin is where we give up a little bit of that ambition because there's no perfect pose. There's no place you're supposed to be except for that comfortable edge, that comfortable discomfort that does not involve muscular effort. This is the exact reverse of the principle of no pain, no gain. Take a minute to feel if your pose has changed from when you first took it to now. And the converse, actually, I should have spoken to, going deeper, is if you have to sit back, take a break, come back. Your head can look down towards the mat, the side, up. In the end, especially, we tend to sort of disengage the neck, signaling to the body that we are letting go of every possible muscular effort. Take a breath in. Exhale your way back to a gentle downward facing dog. Just take a few breaths here. Nice, and I think you know where we're headed, yes? Let me turn this music a little bit soft. Left leg forward and come to your dragon. Start here. You can slide your leg further back. You can be in perfect straight angles. Bring your right hand down to the mat, left hand to your knee, drop. Your right shoulder as far down towards the mat as you can. Left shoulder to the side, twisting dragon. Again, bring your drishti down or to the side. One of the physical benefits of yin practice is this range of motion. You come deeper in to your body and find a greater range of motion. We lift, we tend to lift heavy, and when we lift, we're actually shortening muscles and shortening tension because it's mostly compression. So we come here to find openness. It's a perfect complement. And we reach into that connective tissue to find ease. So we find strength and length, and we find ease. So settle into your pose. Find that place where you go without making any effort to get there or to stay there. But like all yoga practices, be sure to feel your pose, pay attention, tune in, let go of everything but your breath. So yin is a quiet practice, coming deep Nice. Take a breath in. Exhale to empty and make your way to a gentle downward facing dog. So we're not done with our hips yet. There is another pose for hips called swan. So I should have probably mentioned at the beginning that every yin pose has a different name. So if we were taking yang, as we normally do on a Tuesday night, this would be pigeon, half pigeon. But in yin, it is swan. And again, there's a ton of choices. Stay upright, if you can do so without holding on, or come down to sleep. Sleeping swan, your breath, your choice. And just because you choose sleeping swan at the beginning doesn't mean that you can't come back up to swan, or start in swan and move down to sleeping swan. Your breath, your practice. And just let your body be heavy. Feel. So connective tissue connects, supports, binds, or separates other tissues, but also organs. Range of motion, strength and length. But the other piece of yin is an Eastern thought that can't be measured or observed, but is widely believed in Eastern medicine and is starting to take a bigger hold in Western, is that our body consists of tubes that run from the top of our head all the way through our hips, and those tubes are called meridians. And they run along the spine, and inside those tubes, energy flows. And that energy is called chi or prana, and it means life force. And in life in general, these tubes, these life forces, crisscross through chakras, 7 chakras, but they can tend to become blocked. We sit, we walk, we run, and life force gets blocked. And so we come to yin to slowly and gently and effectively open those meridians in our life force. It's probably part of the definition of ease. So, as I mentioned, yin is deep and it's dark. So it is the parts of your body that are deepest. The organs, many of the organs, your heart. Yang is surface. Take a breath in. Exhale your way to a very gentle downward facing dog. And you know where we're going, yes? Swan on the left side. So just as in yang practice, if that left hip is high off the mat, Place a block underneath it for support. If you sink down to your left hip, you're not really opening. So stay even, upright swan or sleeping swan. So yin and yang are relative, as I said. Nothing is completely yin, nothing is completely yang. Yin creates a gentle traction of the connective tissue, and it not only gives you flexibility of the joints, but it should give you a sense of ease and a sense of lightness. Because yin practice is deep, it can also be an emotional practice. Notice and let go. So muscles and blood exercise are yang. Connective tissue is yin. Yang is rhythm and movement, and yin is gentle traction. They complement each other. Yin opens joints, creates flexibility, and strength and length. Take a breath in. Exhale your way to empty and come to a very gentle downward facing dog. Just take about 4 easy breaths. Nice. Come down to your knees on the mat and come to sitting. So we're still working on hips, yes? So again, this pose, bring your right foot into your hips. Weight even on both hips. So again, if this was yang, I'd be saying reach for your toes, bring your foot as close to your hips as you possibly can. Feel this. Find a place that you can stay for 3 minutes. Butterfly and fold forward. This is opening your hips, but it's also very sneakily opening your spine. So your joints have 3 levels or layers. The topmost are the muscles. You can feel them. They're right at the surface underneath the skin. The connective tissue, which joins muscle to muscle, bone to bone, as we say, and the bones. Yin and yang always coexist, and it's one of the nicest pieces, and one of the pieces that we need, I think, during these times more than any other, which is that every yang time or event has a yin side and the reverse. So one of the quotes that I really love about yoga is the concept that every yoga pose is bad for somebody. So if butterfly bothers hips, knees, spine, you can sit on a block, sit on a pillow. You can come back up, take a break, and move forward. So notice your body and find that edge as far down as you can without using your muscles to bring yourself deeper. That's the other thing I'll talk about in 1 second. Especially in these times when you tend to sit on computers, talk on the phone, work over a desk without getting up and moving. Hips and spine really need this opening. They need yang practice, of course, but they need the yin to complement. Take a breath in and inhale your way back up. Come to the flat of your right foot. Bring your left foot in. I like to bring my hands behind me and take just a couple windshield wipers, release any tension. And set up for half butterfly on the other side. So weight even on both hips. Left foot comes to wherever it comes without you forcing it. And in Yad, I would be telling you to point your toes to the sky. Just fold it. Half butterfly on the other side. The spine. We will get to the spine soon, but you have choices in yin, probably more than you have in a yang practice. If your spine is rounded as you fold, you're neutralizing your upper spine and you're opening your lower. If you keep your spine long, you're opening your upper spine and a little bit less so for your lower. So you can choose. It's not the case that one is better than the other, they're different. It may be that you need opening in your upper spine. It may be that you need that opening in your lower. You can also, if you wish, move that leg wide. So choose which portion of your spine you wish to open. Frankly, if you drop your chin to your chest, you're opening your cervical spine. So you really have 3 different areas to choose from as you sit and as you practice. So you want your most gentle edge. Nice. Take a breath in. And inhale your way back up. So next one is called caterpillar. Bring both feet out in front of you. You can move the flesh away so your sit bones connect. Normally I'd say to the spine, fire your legs, toes to the sky. This is yin, so it's caterpillar. So again, you can choose. You can open your cervical spine, you can open your upper spine, or you can straighten for upper spine, roll down for lower. Caterpillar. And just come into ease on your mat. But that edge, that calm edge where you're not using muscle, but you're folded. So one of the men who popularized yin in America is Paul Kelly. And he writes stability and mobility. Remember the white dot within the paisley scroll of the yin and yang symbol? Within yang there is yin, and vice versa. And this also applies to our tissues. Consider the muscles which we just described as a yang tissue. We can find yin within that yang. 30% of what we call our muscle is actually fascia, soft connective tissue. That is the portion that guides movement and range of motion. And it is the muscle that identifies strength. So we balance. There's a concept, strength and length, along with range of motion. It is the ability to be strong at your outermost range of motion. And in order to get that, you need both yin and yang. As you sit, just take one breath to scan your body. Feel where you're applying tension or accepting tension, and feel where you're compressing. It's the third law of physics. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. In one direction, we ask our bodies to move in another. Take a breath in, and very gently walk your way up. Bring your legs out in front of you. Take a couple windshield wipers. So we have been pretty generally working on our hips. And now we're going to go for spines. So we'll start with a pose that we don't normally take for 3 minutes, but it's called deer. So bring your right leg, hip knee in alignment, knee ankle, and right about at your right heel, bring your left knee, left foot behind you. So deer has a ton of variations, just like a lot of them, and some of them will be accessible to someone and some of them will not. So you can stay here and just walk your right hand out. Stay upright or walk out. This is that lateral. It's one of the 6 planes that we move. Or deeper deer, and you can use a block or your pillow. Walk both hands out to your sides, but keep your left hip down to the mat and fold. Twist, one of the other planes of spinal movement. I have no idea why this pose is called deer, but it is. So again, find that place where you can release. Different from one practice to the next, different from one person to the next. So especially because this is a deep pose, scan your body. Feel if you're using muscle to get deeper. I think in some ways it's the problem with demonstrating because someone tends to think that there's a particular place we need to be, or this is the way my yoga practice is supposed to look. It's really about you and your mat and your breath, and especially in yin. What is easy to sink into for one person may be very different for the next, and frankly, one different from one day to the next. So you're twisting in deer really from your belly button and sinking so your chest and torso are facing down towards the mat. And exhale your way back up. So again, to come out very slowly, very gently, maybe a couple windshield wipers. And it's not such a bad idea to kind of scan and see if one side of your body feels different than the other. And set up for deer on the other side, so weight even on both hips. You can walk out for this side lateral movement in your deer, or you can twist from your belly button and fold. Sorry, I have someone at my door. Breathe into your deer for 1 second. So there are 3 basic tenets to yin practice. Come into the pose. He writes to an appropriate depth. But we've already talked about how you find that depth. Resolve to remain still, which is really hard for some of us. And then hold the pose for a while. Play your edge. Don't come deep into a pose right away. Feel resistance, but give your body a chance to open and to feel. Nice. Take a breath in. Inhale your way back up. So take a couple windshield wipers. Just take a minute to feel. And now we're on to the next plane of spinal opening. Come down to your belly on your mat. So you have a choice. This is Sphinx. Your fingers spread wide but gentle. What you don't want to do in Sphinx is sink down into your shoulders. Stay tall just a little bit gently, lifting the mat away from you with your forearms. If you feel this in your lower spine, you can widen your legs, take some of the pressure off your lower spine. So we will be here for 3 minutes, remembering every yoga practice is bad for someone, yes? So if this bothers your spine, you can come down and take a rest, come back up, or as we're here, you can extend into seal. If you're in seal, is the deeper spinal opening, bring your index fingers forward, fingers spread wide, and point it just a little bit towards the outer edges of your mat. Bring your feet wider if you feel any tension or stress in your lower spine other than the gentle yin stress that we're looking for. You may need to take a break, kind of resist that unless you absolutely have to. And come wherever your breath takes you. Remembering that you may start in one place in this pose. Maybe my edge is here, and maybe I've kind of found ease in that spot. You can come up to feel. So we are flexing our spine, opening. If you have to use muscular effort to come up here, you will block that path to your connective tissues. Feel where you're holding on. If you're like me, your body tends to go to automatic muscle memory, which for me means I'm going to come up and I'm going to fire and I'm going to get deeper and use muscle to get there, which in this practice is totally counterproductive. I hope it's all right if we go over time a bit because we're doing a deeper practice. So make your way down to the mat, take a couple windshield wipers with your lower legs. So the next pose we're only going to hold for 2 minutes. It's called infant, but those of you who take yan on a regular basis will know it as locust pose, but it is infant. Come up. You may need to take a break in between. You may just have your shoulders up, arms up, legs up. Find that place where you can let go. Your still flexing the spine. Infant pose. Take a breath in. Exhale your way down to the mat. So take just a couple gentle windshield wipers in case you built up any tension in your lower spine. So we have opened to the side. We've opened from the back. And we've twisted. So now we're going to roll over onto our backs. This is the closest to a yan pose that we'll get during this practice. So we all know this as plow, but in yin, it's snail. So lift your feet, use your hands, and bring yourself all the way over to the floor behind you. And we're now extending our spine. And yes, we will be here for 3 minutes. So feel where you are now. Let go of muscle. You may let your knees sink. You may kick them off to the side. Snail pose. It may be that you need to take a break from snail. You can roll down and pop right back into it. But resist that if you can. Listen to your body, and if it is a comfortable discomfort, that's great. If it's pain, that is a way for your body to say that it is too much stress. While you're in snail, gentle reminder, please do not turn your head to the right or to the left. Keep your neck in neutral because your neck is pretty much under load. So while you're in snail, you have the added choice of dropping your knees down towards your ears for deaf hands or letting your legs stay straight. Take a breath in. Slowly roll down onto the mat. Bring your knees in and just give yourself a little back massage. So let your legs extend, and I definitely have to demonstrate this next pose. So watch for 1 second. Come down to your left side on the mat. You can be on your arm or you can move to the inside. Because the top leg stays long, you roll over onto kind of the top of that lower leg, your left leg, and take the bind. This pose is called cat pulling its tail, so you can stay here. For some of you, your foot's not going to reach the floor. That's fine. Or you can bring your head behind you and find opening. This pose is called cat pulling its tail, and I love it. This pose is not unlike wild thing, flipping your dog, or bow pose. Dancers, any pose in which we take a bow, no arrow in this pose. Cat pulling its tail, it's a yummy spine opener. You can also, oh, I forgot to say, you can stay up on your elbow for this and come to here. Perhaps this is too intense for some of you. Just come up to your elbow and hang there. But make your arc. If you're here, that's fine. That is where your opening is. Feel your cat pulling your tail at the beginning of this pose, and feel your cat pulling your tail at the end. This is a nice, yummy, deep opening pose. It's juicy. Take a breath in. Exhale to empty. And then roll over onto your right side for the same pose on the other side. So again, elbow. Come down and rest your head to start. So left leg stays long. And I forgot to say you can bring it out in front of you. Right foot comes behind you. Let your head fall back. Make your bow cat pulling its tail. And then very deliberately let go of every bit of muscular effort. Stay with your head on your arm. Top leg straight or top leg forward. Nice. Take a breath in. Exhale your way back and come to lying on your back on the mat. So let your legs extend. Bring your arms way over your head. This pose, also a juicy pose, is called banana asana. So walk both feet together over to the left side of your mat and walk your hands over to the left side of the mat. Keep both shoulders on the mat, keep both hips on the mat. Banana asana, we're making ourselves bananas. We'll only be here for a minute. Find ease and find softness. You should feel energy along the right side of your body. Opening, kind of decompressing, if you will. But again, let go of any idea of goals or someplace that you're supposed to be in your banana. And just be a banana. Nice. Take a breath in and gently walk your hands over to the other side of the mat. And feel energy along the left side of your body. Banana asana on the other side. I don't think there's another name for banana asana in Yum. Gently make your way back to center. So Shavasana in Yin is called pentacle. So just lie down on your mat, bring your arms out to your sides in a T, and let your legs come wide. And make a star. Shavasana, eyes closed. Let your body be heavy. Feel the earth supported. And come into just being. your everyday breath. Feeling the belly rise as you inhale and sink to the earth as you exhale. On your own time, bring your knees into your heart and let your body fall over to the side of the mat, to a fetal position, position in which all our learning began and in which all our learning was supported. Just take 3 breaths to feel. On your next inhale, use the strength of your arms to bring yourself up to a seated position. Eyes closed, hands to heart center. In yoga tradition, bring your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows, the seat of your intuition, and your true guide in life, and the light in me greets and honors the light in each of you as we inhale together and bow to each other saying, Namaste. So thank you for practicing, everyone. Quick announcement, this class is going to stay on Facebook Live. Saturday mornings is going to go to Zoom. So 15 minutes before the class, I will post a link to the Zoom on Balance Members Gym page, Balance Gym's members page. And if you click on the link, you will be redirected to my Zoom class, and it'll be fun because I can play more music without worrying about whether Facebook's gonna mute me or shut it down. So have a great Tuesday night. Have a great week. Hope to see you Saturday morning on Zoom. It'll be fun. Take care, everyone. Thanks.